Welcome to Real Talks with Pinks. Thank you for the likes you've been receiving on the channel. Our channel is growing, so keep liking, commenting, and subscribing on the channel. I have a special guest today, a friend of mine, a very busy man who was supposed to be on the channel a couple of months ago, but the time is right. Can you please introduce yourself to Real Talk viewers?
Hi, it's such a pleasure to finally be on Real Talks. Officially, that is. Tokiso Nthebe. And I am a multi-potentialite, yeah? And the reason I say that is I'm a man of many talents and many interests. I am a YouTuber, I'm a podcaster, I'm a content creator, I am a financial wellness and travel enthusiast, and I'm also recently an entrepreneur. So
Recently an entrepreneur.
Recently, yes.
I like it. So we'll get straight to it. We have invited Tkay to share with us how do you plan to leave your 9 to 5. So you recently took the leap of faith. Let's talk about that. First of all, I'm going to ask you to take us through your qualifications and then tell about your love for financial education.
So for me, I am a lover of education. I think I'm a low-key nerd. And the reason I say that is I've got 5 degrees.
That's a lot.
5 degrees. So I studied a BCom Financial Management at the University of Pretoria. I did a BCom Honours at the University of Pretoria in Financial Management. I then came back home, worked for a year, and then went to the University of the Free State to do a BCom Honours in Management Accounting.
Oh, wow.
I then did a Master's in Financial Management, and then I recently completed a postgraduate diploma in Financial Planning Law. So the reason I love financial wellness or financial education is I've made a lot of costly financial mistakes, despite the fact that I studied finance. I'm talking about buying a car. Yes, the Peugeot 207 I drive. When I bought it, I could not afford it. I was living with my sister at the time. I had a credit card debt. I had clothing account debt to the value of 15,000. I had no savings. I left my job, my first job, and then I chowed my pension benefits. So the reason is I've made so many mistakes as a finance graduate, and I decided to let's make different decisions. So I now have committed to educating young professionals and entrepreneurs to really have a better relationship with their money and make sound financial decisions. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a mouthful. I can't even keep up with your degrees. But I like what you're saying. You've made a commitment to educate young professionals about money and how to take better financial decisions. Okay. So let's get into it. How did you know that you were ready to leave your 9 to 5?
So for me, that's a very difficult question because I don't think you really always know when is the right time, but you just make a bold decision and you do it. So for me, I put a timeline to say on the 30th of June 2021, I'll be gone from corporate. But obviously that comes with a lot of preparation. So the business was registered in 2015 and it's gone through many phases. 2015, I registered, but I did not know what I was doing. 2016, I sort of had an idea. 2017, 18, 19, I really focused on trying to figure out what exactly the business should be about, you know. So the one thing that I love about the transition that I did is I used my salary to actually prepare for me to go into business.
Okay.
So the design of the logo, the design of the company website, STEM as a company, all those things that are very important but don't seem important, I started using my salary to fund that, you know.
Okay.
So by the time I decided to leave, the business had an identity, it had a profile, it had business accounts, you know, and it had started building clients. But for me to decide the decision really started in 2019 after the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So I was based in Chicago and I was engaging with young Africans across the African continent. And they really heard my business idea or what I was trying to do with my business. And they were like, that's really important, you know. So I came back and I was like, I need to really go into this full time because there is so much potential. And this is driving financial education. So in 2019, I started preparing to say that I'm going to leave. I did not know what it looked like at that time. So it started with me working on what I called a survival budget. So what a survival budget is I look at my current budget to say what are the things that I can compromise and what are the things I can live without and what are the things that I cannot compromise on. And for me, a comfortable number was if I can replace 70 to 80% of the things I cannot do without, I will leave. So I did that. I think at the time it was at 40%. So I'm like, I'm definitely not ready to leave my corporate job. And then I started saying, how do I get to the 80% that I want? How do I open new sources of income? So I started the ice business to start doing that. I started being intentional about content creation. I started being intentional about my corporate emceeing career. So I started opening up different sources of income to close and compensate those things. The things that I was not willing to do without is my mortgage, my medical aid, food, groceries, and petrol. So those are the things that I said, these are things I cannot do without. And the other thing as well is, at the time, I had an overdraft, I had a credit card, I had a personal loan. So I started using the bonuses that I was receiving to pay these off. So like the last 2 years have been pay off debt, pay off debt, pay off debt. So I cleared the overdraft, I cleared the personal loan, I cleared the credit card, and I was like, the only thing I'll be comfortable with is the mortgage. And then eventually you start positioning yourself to say that once you leave corporate, you need to have clients. So I started building the brand, I started doing the work. It meant speaking for free at times, it meant doing workshops for free, but at the time I was planting the seed to say that this is TKO Consultancy and this is what we can do. And obviously the one thing that I love about corporate is, as much as many people feel like it's a trap, the things that you can learn in corporate that you can apply in business, processes, ways how to send emails, how to avoid going to business without a purchase order. Those are the kind of things, systems that can help you build your business.
And at the time we take them for granted.
We take those for granted. So as I was transitioning, I was learning to say that I also need to have policies that govern my business. I need to have policies and processes that will govern how I do things in the business. So I started working those in the background, But eventually I got to a point I was like, I feel like I'm having an affair with my employer, with my different employers actually, where at times I was very conflicted to say that, okay, I've got this gig and it happens during working hours. Do I take leave, or how do I do that? So when this started becoming a habit, I decided, guys, this is getting risky, so maybe it's time to jump. But obviously that deadline was still in place.
I like when you're talking about preparation, because a lot of people have these dreams or goals or aspirations where they want to start things, but we usually have the fear because we feel like, I'm not ready. There's too much uncertainty in the business world. Lesotho's economy is too small, unstable. But I like what you're saying. You prepared. You started living on less, on 40%, and then you were ready. Because my next question was going to be, how do you really know with all this fear that's there? Don't get me wrong. There's a comfortability that comes with having a salary, knowing that you have your secured whatever amount every other month. So how do you deal with uncertainty and knowing for sure this is the time I'm ready?
I will be very honest with you. I made the decision to leave. I think it was June 2020 when I decided that I'm going to leave. June 2021. So that was 12 months prior. And after I made that decision to myself, the anxiety I was going through, had you met me during that time, my eyes were bloodshot. I was not sleeping. I was not eating well. And eventually I had to accept that I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety because of that fear, to say that, what is going to happen? Yes, the financial plan is looking good, but the mental was not doing too well. So it was in January and February when I decided to go to therapy. So I went to therapy and I started working towards the decision, because now it was 6 months to 30th of June, So I started working. I did a lot of therapy, which really, really helped. And at that time as well, I was also reviewing the financial plan to say that this is what's going to happen. So again, paying off the debt, but also accelerating the savings to say that, let's find that balance to say, in the event that things don't work out, at least I have a buffer for about 6 months. And again, Pinks, the 20th of August was painful. I was sad. I was so sad when that SMS did not come in. I was like, and now we're going to the 20th of September again. So it's not easy, but you always need to remember why. And I called that chapter of my life this year, Flirting with Fear. So I was like, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I like that you were prepared. I want you, before we close off, speak to those people who have dreams, who want to pursue them, but they have so much fear. What do you say to them as our last
closing? So for the person who has a dream and wants to start a business or want to go into business, firstly, you need to believe that it's possible. You need to believe in that. Secondly, the one thing that we don't emphasize enough is use your salary to build that business. So build your business while you are still employed. Don't do it during working hours, but build your business using your salary. There are certain things that fall into place when you transition. For example, furniture, a laptop when you start. Once you use your salary to buy those things while you're still comfortable, it makes the transition easier. Thirdly, start building the brand. Register the business. Go out and start building the business behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. And start. I love a quote by Shirley Sandberg. Done is better than perfect.
Yes.
So do not obsess with perfection. Rather be obsessed with doing and perfecting as you go along. So done is better than perfect. Start small, start where you are, and keep going.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Tokiso. So what you're saying resonates with so many of my guests who've come on the show, and I've asked them, how did you do it? They just said, start. So I think this is Flirting with Fear 2021. Let's start. Thank you for coming to the channel.
Lovely to
I'm
be here.
sure so many people will resonate with this and they will really, really love it. We'll bring you again after a year or two and tell us how the journey is going.
Rough, guys, rough, but it's fun.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching our viewers. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think about the video and if you have a dream that you'd like to pursue. By the way, we cannot close the show without letting you know Tkay has a YouTube channel that he is running. Go to the channel. He talks financial education, money, travel, and lifestyle.
Of course.
So subscribe to his channel. Bye for now. See you in the next episode.